So I was talking to my friend and she said, how can you hate Goat Child? And I was like, yeah, I just do. And now I'm going to explain. I haven't interacted with any Undertale fans in real life, but every single one I've met online love Asriel. So I'd assume that if I told a really intense Undertale fan that I hate Asriel, they'd probably be like, how could you hate Asriel? That's so unjustified. He hasn't done anything wrong. Well, let me tell you, he has done something wrong. He's done everything wrong. The biggest problem I have with him is that everyone pities him. The player just pities him. So if you didn't know, Asriel is Flowey's true form. And as Flowey, he didn't have a soul, and he couldn't feel emotions. And then the only way he could feel something is by killing someone. Because if you don't have a soul, you can't feel emotions. Okay, I have a question. How does he feel when he kills someone if he can't feel at all? That makes no sense. I have no patience for the sob story that Asriel has. His character is super unlikable to me. And he makes me so mad, so angry. I want to rip his fur off. Yeah. I get the fact that his adopted sibling ate buttercups, which Asriel allowed BTW, and died, and he absorbed their soul, and then he gets killed by humans, and he blames himself for dying, and so he decides to kill monsters, and what? I understand you were kind of upset because you were killed by humans after the death of your adopted sibling, but that doesn't give you any excuse to kill other monsters. The humans killed you, not the monsters. Yeah, I know Alpha's the thing and made him Flowey and blah blah blah, but please, right, before I go any further, I'd like to admit that I love Flowey, but not Asriel. Because when I was first introduced to Flowey, I thought he was an evil for the sake of evil. And I like those characters. I think I diagnosed Flowey with antisocial personality disorder, and if you didn't know, don't know what that is the current term for a sociopath or a psychopath. If you want to know the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath, click the card. So I think Flowey, as a sociopath, he seems like a really violent version of Dr. House. I don't know why I think that Flowey's like Dr. House in any way. House is actually a doctor and actually saves people, and Flowey murders people. Then I think that Dr. Gaster is like House. They're both doctors, and how a Ninny Mouse 42 portrays Dr. Gaster in her fanfictions. Would really recommend her stories, by the way. Is it common to a sociopath? I mean, when he has high level of violence, if you didn't know. So I compare Gaster to Flowey? I don't know, but that's just how a Ninny Mouse 42 portrays monster with a high love. So now, I admit that hate is a strong word for how I feel about Asriel, but I just disagree with his character. If I had to choose a character to say that I hated the most of all, it would be Asriel. So yeah, I like Flowey but hate Asriel, and Asriel had nothing done to him by monsters, giving him no reason to kill the monsters and reset and kill them again and reset. The fact that he doesn't have a soul doesn't have an excuse for him to be cruel as Flowey, but then when he absorbs all the soul, he still tries to kill Frisk, and it takes until Frisk saves all of his friends, that Asriel can feel the souls and feel emotions. When he turns back into a small ghost cell, he says we shouldn't forgive him, and he understands if we hate him, but no, everyone loves him and forgives him. Of course, if we want to be decent human beings of our world standards, we would forgive Asriel and comfort him. Though if we wanted to be massive buttholes, we wouldn't forgive Asriel and we would not comfort him. I mean, if we wanted to be the biggest buttholes, we'd go genocide. Yeah, so you can view me as a butthole, go ahead. I don't blame you because I hate because I be hating this innocent goat child. Though, before I go, I'd like to say who my favorite Undertale character is. It's Sans. He's my favorite and got me into using the font Comic Sans. I used to use just Calibri, and now I use Comic Sans for almost everything, even the script. Look. I think I'm technically married to Comic Sans now. Did I really just write that in my script? Yeah, I did. Though I was talking to my friend before school, and school started, and I was telling her about a recipe for Anzac biscuits I found in my room, which was in Comic Sans, which proved that I was destined to love Comic Sans from at least grade 6. Then I told her that I was probably technically married to Comic Sans, and she was like, Sans XS and Snow, I ship it. I got really off topic there. But yeah, that's why I don't like Asriel. Did you enjoy? Probably not. Feel free to leave a hate comment, but if you enjoyed, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. This is Edgy Aspen Snow signing out.